Assalamu alaikum. Welcome back to Malhama al Mahdi. So, in the last episode of the home front, I briefly discussed the chemical warfare that's done through household items. And I mentioned going through one's kitchen cabinet under the sink, going through one's bathroom cabinets, looking at the various cleaning products that are utilized, looking at reading the ingredients. As people of iqra, we should always read the ingredients. We should read the labels on everything. All right, so I also mentioned, our work sheds, our garden sheds, what kind of products we're putting into the soil around our household. Basically, it's like people are lacing their land and their air with toxic chemicals that then will negatively impact their children, their infants, their toddlers, that will impact their outdoor and indoor pets, including those that maybe have they have a relationship with the local cat that comes and spends time on their patio that they feed. So it's also negatively impacting the local creatures that may come through your property or where you're staying. So basically, also cleaning products in vehicles are incredibly toxic, devastatingly so. Then we need to go through our body products. Anything that we're putting onto our skin is a giant absorptive organ. And so a lot of psoriasis issues, a lot of issues related to the skin, rashes, etc., eczemas, etc. Oftentimes the body is trying to detox inwardly, and it's trying to remove things through the skin or utilize the skin as a protective surface because we've been putting something abrasive or something toxic or harmful that causes instability and imbalance within the very sensitive and delicate bodily ecosystems. Allah created us as a magnificent creation. We are very sophisticated and quite vulnerable, in fact, and the devils know this. And anything that harms the body automatically harms the mind. So just keep this in mind. Consider this well. It's a destabilizing because we are a total system, and that's why we need to harmonize our bodies and our minds. That's why sajda is so beneficial. Sajda is incredibly beneficial as a rebalancing and harmonizing tool and practice. I can't recommend sajda enough. Prostration practice is very important, and this is widely recognized in various body sciences. Like many of the, like say in hatha yoga, within the Buddhist traditions, within the Taoist traditions. Actually, you know what? I can't speak on prostration within the Taoist tradition. But I do know that they really emphasize bodily health in harmony and unison with mental health, emotional and intellectual well-being. But anyway, so let's talk briefly about some other ways that we are being warred upon. So go through your freezer and your refrigerator and your kitchen pantry. Read all of the labels. We have to go and research and find out which foods have been genetically modified and eliminate them from your diet. You may find that as you eliminate them from your diet and you go back to organic, pure, whole foods, that you can cleanse the body, cleanse the organs, the bodily systems of a lot of garbage, and you'll start noticing higher levels of energy. Sometimes you go through a healing crisis where it's darkest before the dawn. So you've been harming your body for years and decades in some cases. So you got to go through and clean out the garbage and then replenish your stores of nutritional stores and build back up. So we've got to go through and do this, read the ingredients for everything in the refrigerator, in the kitchen pantry, for body products, including the body products that you use to clean your mouth, that you use to clean your physical body, your outer physical body, I should say, to clean your hair, because, the head is incredibly absorptive, very sponge-like in many respects. So, You go through all these various areas of the house. This is a total, comprehensive, holistic approach where we're going to read our environment, our bodily environment. We start with our body, the outer body and the inner body. Like what goes inside of the body and what is put on the outside of the body. This is a big part of the Hijrah process. This is holistic Hijrah. It's also holistic tawba. Tawba means to turn away from that which is unhealthy, toxic, impure, imbalanced, harmful to self and others. So we turn away from these things and we replace them with that which is better. And connected to the tawba process is a tazkiya process, a purification. We purify the outer body. We purify the inside of the body and the bodily systems. So this is cleansing and detoxing. We've got to cleanse the liver, cleanse the gut. You got to cleanse the blood, cleanse the kidneys and the bladder. This is where water fasting, lemon water fasting is very beneficial. Green, nutrient-dense smoothies are very beneficial. Deep breathing exercises are very beneficial. Vigorous exercise, lots of stretching. As Muslims, we're at our best, we're very good at synthesizing. As Muslims, we can take information from around the world and synthesize and organize a system according to Islamic principles. And what I would argue is that we need to do this with stretching, with martial arts, and that way people won't be weirded out and be like, oh, that's from somebody and it's got some, it's from some other non-Islamic group and maybe there are harmful inputs. So let's have an Islamic expression of it. Like, seriously, like when was the last time anybody was looking to the Muslims for any practical insight into anything? It's been the last big thinker that we've had is probably Jalaluddin Rumi that impacted non-Muslims. I'm not saying that there weren't great thinkers and great scientists, but I'm saying it's like that as Muslims, we can have a new synthesis and we should be the best scientists and everything should be according to purity and ethics. Genuine ethics is always non-harming towards self and others in thought, word, and deed. And if it's not non-harming, it's minimizing harming, eliminating harm wherever possible. Our path is a path of sadaqah. Our path is a path of mercy and compassion and justice. Justice requires deep honesty. It's a path of truth and truth-telling and truthful action. Truth is always minimizing harm. And so we go through and eliminate these harmful, toxic inputs and replace them with healthy, pure, and purifying ethical inputs. Another aspect of Hijrah, this gets a little bit more sophisticated, but it also, you can go through and think of, with clothing, we want to get away from synthetics and we want to go back to organic substances, cottons, hemps, etc. These are of great benefit, more breathable, more airable. We need to also, a lot of our furniture is made of, basically they're like time bombs. Everything's gassing off. Everything has like a gassing off process. So for instance, a lot of our furniture in our households that's CCP made or CCP organized, and those people are they're at the top. They're very hateful to humanity. There's tons of evidence for this. They lead the world in abortions worldwide. I believe they've had more abortions. Their government has given more abortions than the entire world combined, or something along those lines. People keep focusing on the U.S. It's like there's always been pushback against abortion stateside, I should say. And so anyway, we've been tricked into a lot of situations. So anyway, a lot of our furniture is made with particle board. Particle board is usually held together. It's very cheap. It falls apart very quickly. It's held together with very toxic adhesives, very toxic glues. For instance, I remember years back when I got really interested in holistic health because I faced many health crises earlier on, and at one point I was living in an apartment and they had come and they pulled up all the carpet for several weeks, and it was particle board, and there were actually glue spots because it was hot, and so there were times where the glue was kind of melting and it was gassing off, and I wound up with some various issues, a lot of health issues that then kind of affected me for a period of for quite a while, and along with things that I had taken into my bloodstream when I went to Africa, and I was very trusting of systems. We have to understand that experts are priesthoods in whatever field. An expert is generally a priest. A priest is a scholar. And we need to be wary of priesthoods. That's why we're in this dilemma that we're in right now, is trusting in devious priesthoods. It doesn't mean that everybody who's involved in the priesthood is evil, but there are, it's easier to organize priesthoods in order to accomplish evil goals. And so what I was going to say is that many of our pieces of furniture are made with substances that are gassing off. Like, so for instance, it's like when you go get dental work, if you get metal fillings, it's got mercury within it. And the mercury, if you go and look up the videos, and it's gassing off mercury and into the head, into the body. And so, like I had my mercury fillings taken out years ago and replaced, and we do the best we can with the information that we have. But the whole point is that the furniture is gassing off. A lot of these synthetic materials that cover the furniture, and then the top of the particle board is usually covered with other synthetic materials. A lot of laboratory created materials are all around us, and the plastics are incredibly bad for us, for the environment, for everyone. So we need to replace these things with better. I have a vision for the Ummah. I want to see us as inshallah, as on the cutting edge of everything organic and holistic lifestyle, and to have the most ethical business practices in the world, where people are like, wow, the Muslimin really, like, they we don't have used car salesmen, like, not in a negative stereotypical sense. People should see, like, our business and our ethical behaviors toward others, toward non-Muslims, should be exemplary. People should see excellence. They should meet the prophets within our behavior. Peace be upon every one of the prophets. We do not distinguish nor discriminate amongst them. So we need, so what I'm talking about with household products and furniture and clothing, this is a deeper level. The main thing that I would suggest is go through and focus on getting rid of anything that is toxic with cleaning products, body products, foods, food substances, drink substances, things that are food-like and drink-like. And I forgot to mention earlier with food, many of if it's got artificial colors and artificial flavors, it's lab concocted, and it's total garbage, and it's really bad for your bodily well-being, which means it's automatically bad for your mental well-being, for your cognition and your intuition. Anything that negatively impacts your gut, your main centers of, like, our whole bodily expression is intuitive and is sensorial and is much more powerful and intricate and sophisticated than you have been led to believe. This is the highest level of technology, like very serious tech, is your body. Your body is amazing, subhanAllah. So you have the main centers of, like, if we want to get specific with centers of intuition, it's within the head, and, with the pituitary and pineal glands, amongst other functions within the brain, within the skull cavity. And that's why sajda, where it aligns with the spine, and the spinal cord has energy centers, it has nerve clusters and hormonal glands all along it. And so when we're in sajda, we're aligning that. So that's why salah is very, very beautiful. And also the vibratory effects of Quran recitation are very healing and beneficial, inshallah, when you have proper niyyah, proper intention. And you are very present. We need to be present and appreciative. This is what worship really is presence and appreciation. We've been misled by rabbinic overlays and thread throughs. Anyway, before I finish, I just wanted to just reiterate that that a lot of these lab concocted substances are incredibly bad for our organs, for our bodily systems, for our nervous systems, for our hormonal systems. And so it's very, very important, brothers and sisters, that we clean out everything that is toxic and unhealthy and replace it with that which is better. that which is ethical and pure. And we need to come into bodily wholeness. The word healing is related to whole. So wholeness is the path. It's all about being made whole. Being made whole, you cannot be upright without being whole. And being upright also is related to spinal and structural health and the hormonal systems and nervous system. It's like we need to be, made whole bodily. We are broken bodily. We are broken emotionally. We are broken intellectually, cognitively, intuitively, etc. And so we need to take a holistic approach to correcting these things as an ummah and as a species. So you are much loved and appreciated, and I'm wishing us the best of health and success in this cleansing and detoxing process. Holistic tawba, holistic tazkiya. Very critical. Until next time, assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuhu.